Hello everybody, welcome back to another day of Alchemortis development. Just working through my backlog basically for all the things that I need to get done for the demo. Lots of translation stuff to do, but probably going to do that stuff off stream because it's not super interesting to do on stream. But you know, I mean, I'm getting down to the point where I basically just have to do translation stuff, but anyway, today what I want to do is I want to adjust the difficulty, and I've actually already started working on this. And then I also want to look at maybe giving the combat widget touch up to support larger health values. So we're basically going to be focusing on the difficulty combat widget stuff today and see how that goes. So yeah, anyway, I want to remind everyone that Alchemortis is available on for wishlisting and for playtesting on Steam. So visit the link in the description below to go to the Steam page. You can click request access right here, and you will get immediate access to the playtest. This will be the last playtest before the demo, so get your feedback in, get your playtime in. The next time you'll be able to play the full version of the game will be when the game is released. So that's exciting and terrifying at the same time. And if you want to support the development of the game, you can subscribe on Patreon. If you subscribe at the top tier here for at least 1 month, I will send you an Alchemortis Steam key when the game launches, so you don't need to buy it on Steam. And your name will also be listed in the Alchemortis credits. So this perk will go away once the game is available for sale on Steam. So if you want to have your name in the game and you know you're going to buy it, this is a great way to support me, great way to get some recognition for supporting the development. And also, I have my Udemy courses. These will teach you how to build complete games in the Godot engine. Everything and anything you could do to support the channel is linked below, so check it out. And let's get right into it. Hello, Willius. Welcome back. Adonis Sinho. Welcome. Mohal, welcome. Good to see you both. Bookworm, welcome to the stream. Difficulty, I have only steamrolled so far since getting the nitty-gritty of alchemy. Yeah, so the plan is to make the mid to late game a little bit stronger, like almost, maybe like 20% stronger or something. Hello, Emerson. And I've actually already done that. I have another branch here called difficulty tweaks, but what I want to do is I just want to kind of take a mental note of what the game looks like, because I was messing with a bunch of different settings. So I want to take a mental note of what the game looks like just in its normal difficulty settings. Something that's a little bit annoying is I added a debug option to my other branch, so I can't actually see it in the master branch. But let's also do, oh shoot, this is gonna be annoying. All right, there's a couple of problems here. So let's see if I can do some git magic maybe. So let me look at master and difficulty tweaks here. So we've got game debug, map node tooltip, and map container and map node. I mean, I might break something here, but maybe that's okay. Because really all that I want, these like 4 things here. So what happens if I do, okay, git checkout difficulty tweaks. I forgot how to do this. Difficulty tweaks project.godot. Okay. And then git checkout. I mean, I guess I could do, actually, you know what I could do? I wonder, sorry, I'm kind of a noob at this. Let's see. If I cherry pick this one, yeah, if I cherry pick this one, and then I do git reset soft head, and then I remove the difficulty scorer from this. So now I've got all the unrelated debug changes here. So I've got the fixed, this map node tooltip had a problem with the debug label, so I needed that fix. Clickable validator, all map nodes visitable. Yep, that makes sense. And then my project settings. Okay, cool. So add a debug setting for quick visit map nodes. So we'll put that one on the master branch. And then what I'll do is I'll do git checkout difficulty tweaks. And we're gonna do git pull rebase origin master. And what do we got going on here? Auto. Really? That didn't break? Okay. YOLO. That didn't work, did it? Did my difficulty tweaks go away? What the heck? I think I just clobbered this. Did I? I think I did. Yep, I think I did. That's cool. Hello, Real Blue Radish. Good morning, and today I'm going to join Patreon supporters. Thank you, HiveB. How long have you been developing this game? Since March of 2025. Why did that break? I mean, is it even worth? I mean, I can recover that, but is it even worth? Because the only thing I changed was I changed a lot of the scores in here, and then I also changed, what else did I change? I changed the power growth exponent. Well, yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, I didn't really have that many changes. So let me restart the editor. So anyway, the whole reason I did that is because I do project settings, game debug. So I have this new all nodes visitable setting. And what this allows me to do is I can go into a game here, and instead of trying to guess around like what the enemy difficulty is like, firstly I can see the score and the board size in the tooltip, but I can also just jump directly to a node. So I can just click on that and go into it and see what it looks like. So the goal is to make the game a little bit harder. Just a little bit harder. Excuse me. So I'm thinking we want to hit so that's a score of 3,800. So if we want to hit, let's say that we want to buff the enemy difficulty by like 20%, right? So if we do 3,800 times 1.2, So we want to end up around 4,500 for the endpoint. Now the thing is, we don't want to just linearly scale the difficulty of everything, because the beginning combat should still be relatively easy. We don't want the beginning to ramp up too quickly because, you know, like you have limited upgrade opportunities, right? But the possible series of upgrades that you get kind of balloons in terms of the possible combinations of things. So we kind of, you know, loosely match that expected power increase by very slightly exponentially increasing the difficulty of the combats as you go forward. So originally what I was trying to do is I was just trying to change these difficulties here. So I believe I turn up the shop. Grow board was up to 115. Max health, that can stay as it is. Card upgrade, that's probably fine. Booster will go up a little bit. Artifact goes up to 75. Obelisk, let's go up to 60. Resurrection Stone 50. I feel like card upgrade needs to go up as well. Enchant, combat. Actually, let's flip these. Let's do 50 for that one and 60 for that one. Okay. So these scores, these are the scores for each event type. So basically the way that it works is that when I want to get a score for the combat node to fit, I get the optimal path score. So I basically find the path, since it's a directed graph, right? There's a path to the node somewhere. So I find the best possible path that the player could have taken. And that's just a matter of, you know, iterating or traversing all the nodes, all the possible paths, and adding up all these numbers. And then I know what the optimal path is. And then we take that optimal path score, which is just the sum of all of those scores, and we use that as the basis for constructing the combat score. So all this stuff is like, this is just all magic numbers. These are all just knobs to turn, basically. But then there's a power growth exponent. So we don't want to just linearly increase the difficulty. We want to exponentially increase the difficulty. So there's a slight exponent here, 1.5. But now I'm wondering, path score divided by path score normalizer. So the path score normalizer is 350. I see. So we're taking a base combat score, and then we're multiplying that by, you know, the path score divided by some amount. So bumping all these numbers up, I think that should have the effect of making the later combats more difficult. It will make the early combats a little bit more difficult as well, but very slightly. So I wonder if this would be sufficient without changing anything else. So that's a 2x2 board still. So one of the things I like to test when I'm testing the difficulty is just like, can I win these with just the basic 2 skeletons? And like, how far can I go with just those 2 skeletons? So see, that's, I basically almost won there. So by the time I get to this combat, I will have needed to invest a little bit in my build, which is definitely doable. So we don't want the player to lose the early combats immediately, because that would just be, because like you're so limited, or you're so constrained by RNG at the beginning. Like there's not enough opportunities to get upgrades. So if you get a string of bad upgrades and then you hit a hard combat and you just lose immediately, that's not going to feel good, right? So the beginning combats need to be relatively easy, but then we can start ramping it up. So we've got this. Yeah, see, I mean, I'm still even winning with 2 skeletons there. But as soon as I grab the grow board, the scores are going to go up quite significantly. So we've got a score of 347 here, but as soon as we get to this one, that's 590. So, you know, this could all be expressed as relative terms here. So what, that's like a 50% increase, something like that. So we've got a 50% increase in combat difficulty from here to here, right? And actually that's, well, it's 100% in terms of health. So that has 70 health, that's got 140 health. The board size gets bigger, so I'm probably gonna lose that one. Yeah, I lost that one pretty easily. So yeah, so that's how it works. Now I may have, the problem with these numbers is there's like a lot of different numbers at play, so I'm gonna need to check the later combats and see. Let's see here. So we got 159, 151. Boss board is 1270 with a 4x4. So that is probably a more difficult board than what you would see today. Yeah. Oops, I just spilled water on my microphone. That's okay. All right. After being inspired by your video about composition yesterday, I built my very first reusable components. Very awesome. Very cool. Glad to hear that. Hello, Woolius. Oh, I already said hello to you. Oops. My Steam controller just arrived. That's awesome. The new Steam controller, huh? I should get one of those. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I don't want to automatically smack these guys. So yeah, I mean, so what did I say? I wanted to get to around 4,500. So that's a much harder boss. These combats are generally much harder as well. Oh my gosh. So it may be a little bit to add stone 1. So I think what I could do is, so there's a couple of things, right? There's the health, but there's also the enemy board composition. And so the board size is a function of that as well. Also, the other thing I need to check is what tier are the boosters giving me? So that seems reasonable actually. But the combat rewards, let's see. There's some numbers in here that change what the combat rewards are as well. Yeah, see, I'm just getting tier 5 combat rewards here, so that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right. Okay. And this board has a lot of tier 5 upgrades too, which I suppose is fine, but I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong... Maybe that's the wrong lever for me to pull. And then I have to consider too, with the enemy strength increase, there's an additional 15% multiplier on that. So target tier's difficulty tier divided by 2. Oh, I see. So that's the reward tier. Okay, so I don't know. Part of me is like, why do I even need all these knobs? Part of me is like, maybe I shouldn't make too many changes here because I don't want to throw the balance completely out of whack. We'll see what turning down the exponent does. I think that's not going to give me the result that I want. So the beginning board should still be relatively small, relatively easy. 1058. 2376. Yeah, so that basically just gets me down to where I was. So this number is not what I want to tweak. I think the growth exponent is good. What happens if I just bump up the path score normalizer a little bit? I'm probably going to need to change how the rewards are tiered. So right now, like the combat rewards that you get. So if I show you this, the rewards that you get, these will have their tier increased based on the combat difficulty. So that's 1105. Let's see. $25.71. So if I go here, what does the combat reward look like here? Okay, that seems reasonable. Seems reasonable to me. Are the boosters offering? Let me see. I feel like these late boosters should be offering higher tier items as well. But let's take a look at this combat. So this is 3566. That's 4170. So we're just jumping around, checking the rewards. So it's tier 5, tier 5. Yeah, so I might need to change that a little bit. Although maybe it's fine. Let's just jump around and see. This one will probably be tier 5 as well. Those are all tier 5. Okay, so I'm definitely going to need to adjust that. Let's keep going backwards until I find where I stop getting tier 5 items from the combat. Okay. So yeah, so that score change definitely affected that. So let me try this. So the path score normalizer was 350. There's just too many knobs to turn here. I think a lot of them are redundant because I could achieve the same power increase by like flipping 2 knobs versus 1 knob. Let's see. But again, I don't want to make the early combats too difficult. Okay. We're obviously going to have to do some real play testing here, but just want to see if I can get in the ballpark of where I want the difficulty to be before I do some actual testing. There are breaks. Hello, V. Welcome. That's 5,000. That's a little bit higher than I wanted. So maybe a tweak to the path score normalizer is appropriate. We do something like 375. Now I'm wondering, wonder if I should just leave all the knobs in place and just change the weights or the scores of the various nodes a little bit more conservatively. That's a scary board. No, it's not. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to stash that. Let's leave everything the same. And let's just bump things up a little bit more. So let's do 80 for this one. 50 for this one. Booster is probably fine. 60 for Artifact. 45 for Obelisk. 50 for Resurrection Stone. All right, let's see what that does. Okay, maybe this is more reasonable. I need to have like a hotkey that gives me the God mode button immediately, so I don't have to type it. Whenever that fuzzy search API is made available, expose that in the engine. I could definitely add that to my cheats menu. That would be nice. I also need a button to quick go up here to the stronghold. Okay, so we're kind of in a good spot, I guess. $930 health. So one thing that Claude is really useful here. So what I can do is I can say, can you analyze by staged changes and do an estimate of the, let's see. Of the power difference of combat configuration generated based on the new scores for events. Make sure to map by the unbiased score result of get target score for combat node. The goal is to see relative power changes based on combat score in the range 200 to 5,000. Or let's do 2,200 to 4,500. Okay, so Claude will go through it, it will look at all the math, and then it will say, okay, here's all the things that have changed. That helps me get a better idea too of like what the relative power difference is going to be. Because it's hard to get a real sense of that, because like the maps, they generate randomly, which means that, you know, the optimal path score from the start node all the way to the end node is going to be different. It could be radically different from run to run. So there could be an optimal path that has a bunch of like high value events on it, which would end up swinging the combat score out here. See, like this is 3,400. The previous two runs, it was 4,000. So that means that the optimal path from the start to this stronghold has a lot fewer very impactful events on it than the previous generations that I did. And then we've got one that's higher, right? So we've got a swing of like 800 points in that, which again, this is all relative, but if the soft cap or like the max of the stronghold score is like 4,500, then a swing of 800 is actually quite a large percentage of that, right? So we're going to see what Claude comes back with. But yeah, the goal is to not make the early combats a whole lot more difficult, maybe just a little bit more difficult. What we really are after, though, is that first of all, the bosses get a little bit more difficult. And the health value might still be a little bit too high. But we want the bosses to be more difficult, but we want the game to generally just get more difficult to the mid and the late game. Hello, Clickertail. I swear every time I join Clicker's here, yeah, Clickertail is here quite frequently, of course. So, I mean, it looks okay to me. I think some of these health values maybe are a little bit wonky now as well. But I also have to consider when I generate the map with, let's see, with the difficulty modifier that increases the enemy difficulty, that's going to make quite a difference as well. So it won't make a difference as much in the early game still. But when I go to the end, so that's a higher score. That's also a higher score. Let's take a look at this one. So yeah, that's the second region boss board, which is quite hefty. Now if we look at the last stronghold, 43, so I guess it's not that much. Maybe I should confirm that this is actually working. 43 again. Is it just generating the same map every time? Oh, 40. Okay, so that's approaching a 5,000. Now what's weird here though is why is the health? Oh, I guess the health, I guess there's quite a wide deviation in the health value. 1023. Go all the way up again. There's 1200 health, right? So there's quite a wide deviation in the health values as well. Maybe I should fix that. but we're getting a lot more tier 5 items here. Tier 4, tier 4, tier 5, tier 3, tier 4. So I should get stomped by that board easily. Did Claude come back with anything? Come on, Claude, work faster. Hello, Miniko. I don't speak that language, but welcome. I'm gonna work on my game. I'm trying to make it multiplayer, but I got no friends. I can't test it today. Oh, well, you can run multiple versions on your computer. All right, let's see. Delta increase in power. So board power. So delta S is plus 9% and remarkably flat above S equals 700. It is not flat below that. HP rises plus 9 to 10%. Final boss. That bumps combat tier for score to 12 to 14, which raises reward. Yeah, I got that. So we're looking at a roughly... Yeah, see, this is weird. Why? Oh, I guess that makes sense. So we're looking at a roughly 10% power increase. Oh, delta, maybe I should look at delta combined. So plus 14%. So the first boss is right around like the 1100 range. So that's a 20% increase. Plus 20. So that's just a 20% increase across the board. Which is not exactly what I want. And remarkably flat above 700. It is not flat below that. This is a mid-late game buff that barely touches the opening. The increase lands disproportionately on the nodes in an optimal path. Right, that makes sense. Combine and counter power lands plus 24% to 26% mid-late. Get combat tier for score. Calculate board size closer to the 8x8 64 cell clamp, right? Score bias compounds. So Let's do this. Resurrection Stone, we're going to bump that back down. Artifact is fine. Enchant shop. Okay. So this get combat tier for score, I want to knock that down too. Let's see, get combat tier for score. Oh, I gotta go find where the difficulty tier is used. This is just a weird, I don't know why I'm doing this. Pick modified cards. Difficulty tier divided by 2. I don't know, does it make sense to make the player rewards based on the difficulty tier? I don't know, this is some old code too. Back when I had tiers for each of the nodes, but I don't really know if this is useful anymore. So target tier is 1 plus floor to int, difficulty tier. Target tier. Yeah, so wait, that doesn't even make sense because we could be at a target tier of like 12, and I will say the target tier for each thing is 6, which is going to just cap everything out. Pick unmodified cards. Get card tier for target tier. So I think what I want to do is maybe if I just do a division by 2.5 here. What language don't you speak? Whatever language Miniko was speaking. He said, great game, congrats, basically. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody. What will I use if I use Godot script? Nothing. People debugging code from Slay the Spire 2. Yeah. My opinion on that is if Slay the Spire doesn't care about it, then I don't see why I should care about it. If the Slay the Spire devs don't care, then why should I? Add stone 1. Okay. I just want to see what these tiers look like for these items now. Okay, tier 2, or tier 3, I mean. That seems good. Let's go up here now. See what I get. Tier 5. Oh, those are reagents. I was like, why am I not getting other... Tier 4, tier 4, tier 4. Okay, that seems reasonable to me. So if I go up here, is that going to give me tier 5? Oh. Still tier 4. Okay, actually that seems reasonable. Let's go over here. Tier 4, tier 4. I did get a tier 5. Let's see if I can find another one. Four, 4, 4. Oh, there's a tier 5. Okay, that actually feels decent. And this is a, yeah, that's a 4700. And I have the difficulty tier up. So I could turn that down. Okay. So that seems reasonable to me. So I did bump these up a little bit. I want to play with some more knobs though. Let's see. So what happens if I turn up, let's change a couple of things. So let's increase the path score normalizer, but then increase the power growth exponent. And let's see what that does. I want to learn C#, but I also don't have that much experience with GDScript. I think you got my chat stuck on the screen. Yeah, sometimes I forget to dismiss it. It's all manual. It's all manual. So what is that going to do? It's a 4x4. That's a 5x5. And this is 7x5. Okay. I guess I could put that up. Okay. You repeat the analysis with the with the additional changes I've made staged. The goal is to slightly increase the difficulty curve mid to late game, while leaving early relatively unchanged. Let's see what it says. There's a lot of C#.net content on YouTube. Yeah, GDScript is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's a couple of like nice to have things that are missing, but people are making successful games with GDScript all the time, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Tried to join Patreon, but my phone didn't send the code to confirm it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Well, thank you for trying. GDScript is great. I agree. I don't know C#, but I think it should look like Java. It does. It is very similar in feeling to Java for sure. Does it work on laptop? Yeah, Godot works on laptop. It works on all the major desktop platforms. It works on phones. There's an Android editor for Godot. There's a web editor for Godot. I haven't tried the web editor, but like you can literally just open up the Godot editor in a browser. Maybe. Okay, it's not working. Oh, there it goes. Create a new project. Well, it's not the best experience in the world. It's not the best experience in the world, but hey. Oh gosh, it's so laggy. But it works. I don't know why I'm going on this side quest, but that's okay. Is there like a global position? Vector 3 dot up times 100 times delta. I don't need semicolons. I don't have a camera. I guess it's not going to work, huh? Anyway, We don't need to do that right now. Can I share my game in the Discord server once I have a playtest build? I'm so excited to what I got right and what I can improve on. Yeah, for sure. You are free to share your game projects, for sure. Everyone loves a good side quest, yeah. All right, let's see. Did Claude finish the analysis? The exponent normalizer change worked. All right, let's see. Okay, that looks more reasonable now. The 2 is roughly flat, 1 reward tier for most, minus 1 reward tier, but it's the harshest proportional bite and lands early. Okay. I'm gonna have to see what this looks like with the difficulty modifier active as well, but hopefully this should work. 2x3, so that's 312. That's also 312. Let's take a look at this one. Okay. So I think, I don't know, I'm gonna obviously have to do real play tests on this, but I think we're in a good spot, a better spot anyway. I want to check out the rewards as well. Let's see what kind of rewards I get here. Still getting tier 1 items. What kind of rewards am I gonna get? Tier 2. Yeah, I'm not getting very much increased tier rewards until the 3rd region, I guess. Yeah, so I probably do want to change that. 7x5, 6x8. I wonder if that could approach the cap of 8x8 when I go to difficulty tier 8. Seven by 7. Do I have anything that's like, let's see. Gotta do this every time. Add stone 1. Okay. Let's also change this. 1 plus generation args. Difficulty tier +1 divided by 2.5. So I guess that's going to preserve the tier upgrades early. Use your streams like a podcast while I code. That's fun. How you choose your game genre? Do you have any suggestion other than auto battler games? I think it's just, you just choose whatever you want to make, basically. I mean, there's all kinds of different advice out there. You know, like if your primary goal is to make money, then you probably want to choose a genre that is within your ability to make and also is kind of hot on Steam. So, you know, this is why you saw an explosion of like incremental games coming on Steam, is because they started to do really well and they're relatively easy to make and people like them. So a lot of indies were making incremental games. But yeah, I mean, it's largely your choice. It's up to you, like what you want to do, you know? It's largely up to what you want to do. But yeah, I would definitely recommend picking a genre that is within your ability to create. You obviously are not going to be able to create an MMORPG. There are studios that, you know, get hundreds of millions of dollars of funding from one source or another that fail to make MMORPGs. So probably don't do that one. But otherwise, I think you might as well just choose a genre that you enjoy personally and that you think you can make. These are all dropping tier 5s, but I am on the upgraded difficulty. That's tier 4. Okay, that's good. What happens if I turn the difficulty down now? I have to be really careful with these difficulty changes, but I think this kind of change is going to be good. Let me just see something. Can I win with just 2 skeletons here? Yes, I can. So I may need to tweak the early game. I've been leaving the early game relatively unchanged, but... Oh, no, I guess I died to that one too. So maybe the early game is fine. I want to see what kind of rewards I get now. Should start seeing some upgrades around here. So those did not get upgraded at all. Those also did not get upgraded at all. What's up here? Still not seeing any tier upgrades, so that's a problem. That tier upgrade formula though is... Okay, we got some now. Tier 2. So that seems reasonable. Maybe I'll start seeing some tier 3 like up here maybe? Yeah, there we go. Pay no attention to the skeleton horse. It is in development. Actually, that feels pretty good to me. So let's see, do I get any tier 5 items up here? Goodbye. Tier 5, tier 5. So I may need to change that scaling. I don't know, I need to get rid of that combat tier stuff, I think. Yeah, these are all tier 5, okay. I wonder if I should change that. Generation ARGs, difficulty tier. What happens if I do... Generation ARGs dot target difficulty score divided by, I don't know, something like 1100. And then we've got pick modified cards, target tier. There's a random distribution as well. Suggest an app to create sprite sheet. A Sprite. Any plans to add card references to Gunforged? No, I don't think so. Nope. I think I'm well and done with Gunforged. Also, Gunforged is like an entirely different theme, so I don't think anything from that game would fit in this one. All right, so let's see. So we've got a score here of 1,200. Starting to get some tier 2 items. Okay. 1,500 up here. Still probably not going up fast enough. Yeah, probably still not going up fast enough. Let's do 800. Divided by 800. 800 times 4 is 3,200. So in the late game, I'll probably be getting a lot of tier 5 cards, but that's all right. That's okay. So I'll be getting like tier 2 items up to that point, and then like, or tier 1 items, I mean. And we'll get tier 2 items out here. So this one should give me tier 3 now. Oops. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put the item on my board. There we go. Good. Yeah, that's probably fine. This one will give me tier 5 items. All right, well, that's probably a better curve. Plus, I think what I can do now is I can get rid of the difficulty tier, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I need this. This difficulty tier is not used anymore, so we can get rid of this now. Oh, was this red anywhere? No. Get rid of that. Node.set tier. Oh, do I need to know what the tier is? Get rid of this. Scroll up, combat tier score divisor. Get rid of that. Maybe card reference to main character. Also planning to add visual indicator, different tier of enemies. There is a visual indicator there. Hello, Naxot. Thank you for the Prime subscription for 3 months. Thank you, thank you. No, I don't think I'm going to add that in world map because I think it should be assumed that as you go up, the combats are going to be more difficult. And you can see like what the health is and everything, so you'll know that they're getting stronger. But, you know, if it becomes an issue, I can fix it for sure. Alrighty. So let's just make sure that didn't break anything. I think we're good. You get a big board like that, goodness gracious. Yeah, I mean, I guess I am a little bit worried about that, but maybe it's all right. Like, this feels a little bit reasonable. I mean, the health is kind of high, but, you know, it's a combination of things that makes the boards more difficult. It's the health is one thing, and then the items and how they synergize is another thing. The overall board size obviously makes the enemies more powerful naturally. And then the tier of the items on the enemy board. So there's like a lot of things to address. A lot of things to tweak. But hopefully this is feeling better. So what did Claude say about this? What percentage increase? Okay, so S old. The curve tilted the way that I wanted it to. Okay. The larger normalizer damps the low end, the larger exponent amplifies the high end. Okay. Delta combined. So 10% at 500, 15%, 21, 24, 27, 26. I wonder why it's leveling out. Okay, let me ask, why is the combined power leveling out for values above 3,200? We'll see why that's going on. This is a very good use of Claude, though. Like, it could just produce these tables for me so I could see, as I tweak knobs, what that's doing. I have a suspicion that the tweaks that I made here are probably okay. I might reduce this down a little bit because this was 350. Maybe I'll knock it down to like 370 or something. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break while that's thinking. And when I come back, we will hopefully wrap up these little difficulty knob turnings. The tier max clamp. Oh, a max card tier is the real saturation. Oh, that makes sense. Dip at 4,500 is a stronghold. There's no longer the effective layer. Okay, well, we'll just work with this then. I'll have to play test these changes, but I think this should make the combats a little bit more difficult. Now the question is it going to be too difficult? I don't know. That's why we're gonna have to play test. I'm gonna have to play test because we're not doing any more play tests before the demo. So hopefully, but I think these are very modest power increases. I mean, I guess the power increase. So we're looking at the end boss, the third stronghold boss, being around 27% increased. And then like the mid-game combats are like 20% increased. So that might be a little bit too much, but maybe not, because people were very easily steamrolling. So a power increase of like 20 to 25% maybe is not a big deal. I guess what I'm worried about is like this is going to be... So increasing the difficulty of combats later on is going to be particularly punishing to players who are like just scraping by with an unoptimized build, but maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. Because there has to be... Like, I don't want players to scrape by with an unoptimized build, right? I want them to scrape by maybe for a little bit with an unoptimized build. But they should hit a wall in their runs where if they're not doing at least some optimal things, then they lose, right? So it should be the case that you get punished for not making good use of the alchemy. But at the same time, I shouldn't demand like perfect, I shouldn't demand perfect optimization. And also the other thing with the difficulty scaling is if I make it too difficult, then that essentially reduces the viability of certain builds to the level of, well, you just want to burst as quickly as possible, right? So there's all these different considerations that need to be made. Like, I don't want to punish a player for trying a unique build that is optimized just because, well, you have to kill the enemy faster than they kill you. So I don't know. But we'll have to test it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so the next thing I want to do is I want to update the combat widget a little bit so that it can support larger health values. So we'll do that in a second, but first I'm going to BRB and we'll continue on in just 3 minutes. Okay. See you in a bit. Alrighty, I'm back. So let's see what we can do with the combat widget. Assets, card, what? No, not card. UI, combat widget, combat? Okay. I have not opened this file in a long time. Let's see. Where the heck? Oh, there's the widget. Okay. Widget highlighting. Why did I do this on a different layer? I wonder. Let's just merge this down. Yeah, let's just merge it down. So these sections here need to be larger, but the problem is it falls off out here. Do I have a reference? Look at how old the game was when I started working on this. All this stuff is gone. This was an actual screenshot of the game at one point. That's kind of fun. Okay, anyway, widget. So this reference image doesn't really do much. Maybe I'll just put a black background so I could see. Alrighty. So, the only thing I can really think to do is like move this out more, which there's no way to like symmetrically move these things either. So as I move that over, it's going to move that one in the same direction. At least I don't know if there's a way to symmetrically move them, but all right, well, here's what I'll do. Just to ensure that I'm grabbing the same area, I will put that there. And then I can hopefully grab this, hide that, and I can move this over. So let's do... I thought there was a delta change. Okay, anyway. We don't need to give it that much space, but it does need to be a little bit of space because I'm going to want to support like... Oh, is this the wrong size? Okay, so we definitely want to comfortably fit something like that. So that actually feels like a good distance away. So grab that. Actually, I need to count how much this is. It's 12. Okay. I guess I'll just eyeball it. Oh, I was 1 pixel off. $12. Okay. So now I'm going to obviously need to repair this stuff. And I broke like this pattern in here as well, so we'll need to fix that. Maybe I'll take some time to actually touch up the combat widget itself, but I think Should be relatively easy just to like kind of fill this in here. Is that going to break everything? Now, see, the problem, it looks like off center. So maybe that's actually not what I want to do. I guess the other option, okay. I guess I should have thought about this more. I might just have to move this section over as well. Can I redo? I don't know why this is the case, but I feel like I can almost never redo things in Sprite, which is kind of annoying. So anyway, let's do half and half. How much space do I have on this side? 9, okay. So we might have to just push that in more, which is unfortunate because I've got little decorations here, which are kind of fun, but I think what I'll do is I'll bring this back over by 6. That's 7. So we create a gap of 6 here, but then I need to move this over by 6 as well. So I'm just going to do this the easy way first. Okay. I think that's correct. Is it still going to look off-center though? I guess that is centered, but I may have to bring this down. Yeah, that may be what I have to do. I have to bring this down to make it look not off-center. Oh, those globes are not correct. I also changed the health globe art, so this is actually just not correct, generally speaking, but anyway, that at least gives me something to work with. Oh my, I fudged that up. Okay. Okay. We'll get it right eventually. The big problem with this is that there's a lot of asymmetry in terms of how this is drawn and shaded. So it's not so easy just to turn on the symmetry and then call it a day. Okay, 6 and 6. So yeah, the big problem is that these look off center now, but I think that's fixable. I mean, do I even really need to do that? Let's see. It may look okay, actually. Okay. I think that's all right. Maybe I want to introduce just a little bit more curvature there. Yeah, we're gonna have to see what this looks like in game with the real, because these health globes have changed, but yeah, see, that looks a little bit weird. It looks a little bit too... Okay. Maybe it's okay. Oops. Oops. The heck am I doing? All right, I guess that looks a little bit better. Those are centered. Oh. Don't have the symmetry in the right spot. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. So now it's just a matter of kind of matching the style that I had going on here. Okay. Maybe I should get my preview window in the right spot. I don't really know why these are here. Just get rid of those. That'll work. I'm just going to touch things up as I see them as well. Might as well since I'm here. Oops. Okay. All right, and then this needs to change. And then this one also needs to change. It might be too much. That's probably okay. I lost some of the detail around here, but I guess that's all right. I guess that's all right. I feel like this side should be very much brightened. So the light is supposed to be coming from the top left. Yeah, that feels better to me. And then maybe I could just add... Yeah, that seems fine. I'm just gonna cut that part out. And then, do I want to do something similar on this side? I feel like this one is actually too close. Yeah, we'll just go with that, I suppose. Like I said, I'm just going to touch things up as I see them as well. Might as well, since we're in here. Okay. I don't know why I did this, but I definitely made this noisier than it needs to be. So just cleaning up some of that stuff will help quite a bit. I think anyway. Doesn't need to be so So noisy. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, already I feel like that looks better. So making the highlights stronger on this side. Cleaning up a lot of the noise around here. Now I could do something like this, but maybe that won't look good. The lovely process of making pixel art centered. I think it's better, generally. Nice looking sprite. I've been keeping everything 8-bit because I can't draw to save my life. Yellow. Hello, Ninja Link. Welcome back. Hello, Mel's. Good to see you. Can you please create a playlist with all the Alchemortis live streams? I can. What would a playlist do? Because, like, there are hundreds of live streams. Like, every single live that you see in the live tab on YouTube is just Alchemortis streams. Is it just so you could watch them in order? The unfortunate thing is I think I'd have to go and, like, manually add hundreds of videos to the playlist. I don't know if there's a way to, like, easily do that in YouTube. Hello, Yogi Supreme. What's the name of the game? Alchemortis. Alchemortis is the name of the game. Don't wear it out. All that good stuff. But you can wishlist it on Steam if you're interested. And there's also a playtest running right now, actually. Okay, so now the wild card moment is, do we actually play around with adding some orange in here as well? Do we just add like a couple of orange spots? Just to bring out the highlights a little bit more. Like very, very, very few orange spots. And we'll just put one there as well. I think that's basically it. I don't know if I would go any more than that. Maybe up here. No, that feels a little bit too wrong. We'll just... Also, let's do that. Smooth that out. So just a handful of orange pixels, I think, actually has quite an effect there. Yeah, I think we'll just keep that. So, I mean, it's amazing, like, you know, I mean, here's the art without the orange, right? So it looks good, it's fine, but you add, what is that, like 7, 8 orange pixels to the whole piece, and like, it actually does make a huge difference, right? It's just 8 pixels. Or however many it is, I didn't really count, that's an estimate, but it's just amazing what like a relatively small amount of pixels can do. Fix this up a little bit. Looks nice. Yeah, you have to do it manually, the playlist. Sweet, I'll check it out. Color palette reminds me of Spirit's Abyss. What is that? Let's take a look. Oh. Yeah, I love these kind of limited palette, like, pixel art games. The limited palette is just kind of like, it's, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's a very straightforward way of like forcing yourself into a very consistent visual identity. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna do that for my future game projects as well. Just pick a series of limited colors and then stick with that. Okay, I'm gonna stop messing around with this now. So the hard part now is gonna be figuring out how in the world I'm gonna get this into the game. Because the combat widget is the most complicated scene in the entire game, I think, like hands down. So what I really need to do is I just need to change this, I guess. So this widget is just called a widget. Actually, maybe this will be easier than I think it will be. Because I didn't change anything except for the widget. I just extended these outward so they support higher numbers. So let's do that. Scripts, export layers. We've got almost 100 viewers on YouTube. Dang. Welcome, everyone. There's got to be some new people in the stream. Glad to have you here while I'm chilling, making my game Alchemortis, which, by the way, Alchemortis will be coming out before the end of the year. Oh, I need to fill in all these black spaces. Oops. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Widget root. Widget. Okay. Well, let's do custom minimum size. That. Do I have to reposition everything? Oh, don't tell me I gotta reposition everything. Okay. So it went from 147 to what? 159? So that's an increase of 12. So does that mean that I just move these over by 12 then? Auto-resolve clickable control. Nope. +6. Oh, right, because I'm centering it. So I need to take half of the width that I did. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Transform position +6. I don't think I constructed this scene very well. Don't tell anyone that, but just between you and me, I don't think that this scene is built as good as it could be. We don't want anyone thinking I'm an amateur game developer or anything. Ah, shoot, that's not right. Am I really going to have to manually position everything again? Okay, wait, that makes me kind of nervous, actually. So wait, this is at position 52. No, position 58 is correct. Yeah, that's fine. So I don't know why. Anyway. Oh gosh, I have to move everything. I forgot the pointer was a thing. I might want to update the art on that as well. Hello, Emerson, you're new. All right. Welcome, new guy, Emerson. Good to see you. Excuse me. I guess what I'm really worried about when it comes to this positioning is if my animations that I've set up for this are going to work. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Position. Yeah, I'm going to have to see if my animations work. Enemy health globe. Okay, and then these labels. All of these labels need to go over by 6 as well. I'll just do it one at a time. These enemy statuses and player status, these should actually be correct already because those are being laid out according to the widget size here. So I don't need to move those. I will need to move the health labels though. +6. So now this should actually work. There we go. Oh, do I want to make the... Why didn't I do that, I wonder? Let's make this centered and then position it the way it's supposed to be. I gotta go in and update the art, of course, but let's go from here to there, that's 9. From here to there, that's also 9. Cool. So the reason I'm changing the anchor to center is because now it will just grow normally from the center when the text expands. I don't think I was doing that before, which is a little bit weird, but... So we should have... That's 8 there. Oh, did I go over too far? 9 there. Wait a minute. Did I do this wrong? Is it 1 pixel off? Is it really 1 pixel off? Oh, I was measuring the wrong side. Or I was measuring to the wrong spot. I need to measure from the border to the first color. Skipping black. Okay, we're good. I was gonna say, I was pretty sure that I did that correctly. Okay, so now I need to actually remove the background and fill in all this stuff. Which should be relatively easy. I'm also gonna need to re-outline it. So what I may do... Actually, you know what? I might just have to do this manually, I guess. Did I miss any outlines? I don't think so. All right, let's try that again. Export layers. Wow, we have so many viewers. I wonder why we have so many viewers. I am certainly not complaining. So let's just see. Did I do everything correctly? Wow, this looks great with all the widgets attached to it. I'm very happy with how that turned out. And we now have room for higher health values. So that was actually really important to do because I felt needlessly restricted to keep the enemy health under 1,000 because as soon as it hit 1,000, the text would run off the designated like health label area. But now that I'm supporting, you know, I could support probably easily up to like 9,999. Look at that. I may even be able to support like in the 10,000s as well, but probably never going to get to that state. But yeah, so this is fitting very nicely in there now. I think the art updates look good. The little extra highlights there. Now the thing is all of this correct? So the speed controls are good. The health globes look properly situated. They look symmetrical. I like how there's actually like a little bit of an extra shadow under those as well. That seems pretty nice to me. Is there anything else that I'm noticing? I'm thinking maybe the orrery could be updated here. Those highlights seem a little bit weak. But, and then the pointer probably needs to be updated. So let's do those things. Actually, let me commit my change first. So, expand combat widget to support higher health values. I'm doing this on the difficulty tweaks branch, I guess, but that's okay. So where is the pointer? Here. Well, that may look a little bit weird, but we'll check it. We will check it. No, that doesn't seem right. Let's do... I don't know, maybe not. I guess it doesn't actually look too bad. Just like that, I guess? I don't know. But I might add some, like... Oops. I don't know what you would call it. Indirect lighting? Guess I won't mess with it too much. I guess I will not mess with it too much, and I'm also editing the wrong spot. Okay. Yeah, don't have to mess with it too much. Okay, so the pointer and the orreries. Oh, did I mess this up again? Oh, I drew it on the pointer. Classic. Okay, file, export layers. Export layers, save sprite. Just a very minor touch up. We'll see how it looks in game. Any day now. I don't know why that takes so long. Okay, export layers. Everything looks positioned correctly still. Oh, the where did my other highlights go? I lost the highlight on the pointer. Okay. Alrighty, let's see what it looks like in the game now. So I bring this up. Yeah, I think it looks fine. Just a little bit of a touch up. Didn't really make that many changes to the widget, all things considered, but I think it's definitely an improvement for sure. All right, so what I want to do now is we might as well just do a playtest of the game to see what the new difficulty changes feel like. Because I really want to make sure that this is going well before I do anything. Before I move on to anything else. So basically the comments in the mid to late game have been increased in difficulty while the early game has remained relatively unchanged. And so I want to make sure that I just didn't overdo it. And of course there are going to be other things that I do for the difficulty as well, like I'm going to make the bosses more powerful. So it could be the case that I need to scale back the difficulty changes again. But we'll just see how it goes. So what I'll do is I'll start with a fresh save. We're going to remove quick unlocks. Let's turn off mute music and mute sound effects as well. Let's just turn all this off, except for the tutorial. We're going to skip the tutorial. Get rid of all nodes visitable, debug fog reveal radius to 0, I guess. Okay, all of my debug settings are gone. We will do clear save data. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to, let me think about this. I'm gonna pause the music that I've got going on, and then I'm going to update, let's see, filters. let's see what it sounds like at the main menu. Okay, let me know if that audio is too loud, but we're gonna play the game with the actual sound effects and music and everything, so you can get the full experience. But if it's too loud, let me know, and we'll do full screen as well. Okay, so yeah. I think it's all good. Let me know what the sound is like. I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break though, and when I come back, we'll do a run and we'll just see how everything is feeling. All right, so I will be right back in just 3 minutes and we will continue on. All right, I'm back. It would be cool if you had boss resources that said what region they were in, the item type they prefer, the score multiplier. That way you could further customize the way each boss board generates. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if... Yeah, maybe something like that will be necessary. I want to see what happens because I want to give the bosses legendary abilities to further differentiate them. And what I may end up doing for that is I may end up making those legendary abilities that are just exclusive to the bosses to give them more defined behavior. But anyway, Yeah, I'll have to see how that goes. But let's see what it looks like with the increased difficulty here. So let's get this playtest started. All right, so I've got my skeleton warriors, got the new combat widget, very nice. All right, I'm gonna play like I'm a player who has a couple of rounds of experience. It's very hard to do, but obelisk, booster. So I could get reagents that way. I'm gonna go booster, obelisk. Booster, I hope, I might get, maybe I'll get the secret item and everyone will see what the secret item is. Guaranteed bleed, guaranteed ritual, guaranteed undead. Well, I know that I can use undead items, so we'll take that. Skeleton mage, underworld ferryman. Let's do that. So we've got fire, go to the obelisk. Transform board. Oh, I'm not going to take that because I know that's a huge power increase. Let's do artifact. Oh, double artifacts. Okay, here we go. Let's turn up the speed to 2. All right, so far so good. We've got more fire here. Oh yeah, let's do that because then I can put that on my board. So let's just alchemize these boys together. Actually, I might as well throw all of these into the pot. Reduce the corruption chance as much as possible. Got 1 corrupted ability, let's see. Increase the cooldown of items in the corners by 0.5 seconds. That is not terrible. Because I can put this guy in a corner that removes the other corners. Actually, these are all low cooldown items anyway, so I think I can probably tolerate that. Now we've got a bunch of fire now. Oh, now the skeleton mage just does damage. That's funny. Okay. So just got a bunch of power increase. 3 artifacts in a row, my goodness. Okay. Let's see. Spiderling minion. Gain 3 blood on combat victory. Let's do that one. An additional artifact can be chosen. We're gonna take minion cooldowns are reduced by, well, I only have minions on here, so let's go minion build, I guess. And then Cauldron Scrub Brush, or take 1 damage and increase amount of stacks applied. I think I'll just take the Scrub Brush, that's fine. Wow, looks like I came back at the perfect time. Also want to point out that getting the soul of a hammer is kind of funny, might be sentient magic weapon. Yeah, that's true. I had that 2 once, excellent. Jackpot. Those are the kinds of things that I definitely want to be in the game. I think I just got really lucky, but item tier cap, random ability to alchemy, booster encounters awful. Let's just do the item tier cap. Wow, strong start already. Ward growth. Reduce cooldown. Add some falling abilities to items in this column. Increase critical bonus by 4. If the cooldown sum of items in this row is 25 seconds or greater, each item gains the following ability. Let's just do this one. Passive, increase critical bonus. Actually, I want to put that on... Actually, he does have a high critical chance. Higher anyway. I can move that. I can move... No, I gotta keep that in the row, I guess. Dang it. I can put this guy here, though, so he's not getting the penalty. All right, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna need a health upgrade. Oh, I didn't realize I added that. The Chalice of Blood actually plays a blood animation when you... when you gain the blood. I forgot I did that. Another artifact. Let's go. I had one run, I had like 8 artifacts or more. Are corrupted abilities meant to be bad? Not necessarily. Corrupted abilities, they're not designed to be strict negatives in a lot of cases. They're designed in a way where, number one, it takes up an ability slot with an ability that you can't really control, so that's the downside. But it is intended that you can like kind of leverage them in your own way to like jujitsu them, right, to turn the tables a little bit. So they're supposed to be like initially negative, but a lot of them are designed with the idea in mind that you can work with them or work around them. So like this one, obviously, like if you just put really low cooldown items in the corners, then the impact is not that big, right? But there are also abilities in the game where you actually want to build up your cooldown. So you could actually use this as a way of pushing your cooldowns up to a threshold that unlocks some more power, right? So they're not explicitly designed to be bad. I would call them more like wild card abilities. There are some that are just definitely bad that you don't want, but there are some that can be good or bad depending on the context. Good morning, Necromantic. Okay, so far so good. Echo if the board contains multiple corvids. Apply 1 armor per fire applied. Okay, I'm gonna want this one for sure. So let's see. It can't fit on my board at the moment. You guys want to know something fun? Do you hear that little sucking sound that happens when the wisps return to the item? So that little sound. That was me literally just... Oh, we got a bug. That was me literally just making sucking noises with my mouth. That is the one and only custom sound effect in the game. Yeah, okay, so there's an error here. Okay, so I need to fix that. Let me write that down. Corrupted indicators and ability pool. I thought I tested that. See, these are the kind of annoying things where it's like, I tested that, I thought I tested it well, and as soon as I say, okay, I'm going to commit that, I find a situation where it doesn't work. Anyway, let's go ahead and just alchemize these things together. I don't... Oh, 3,500% chance to gain... What? Hold on, something's broken. Oh, I think I just messed this up. Okay, hold on a second. I think my game is going to save. Sorry, that's going to annoy me. I got to fix that. Sorry, I got to fix that. Header ability pool, UI ability pool, corruption chance. Float to percent, current corruption chance. What? Now I can't unhear it. That's a bug. I thought that was intended. Was it 1,000? Yeah, I mean, that bug is only going to be present on this development version. It's not in the version that you are playing. I think it's just formatting the number wrong or something. $45, float to percent. Wait, why is that broken? Current corruption chance. 45%. Wait a minute. Format description. Why is it doing that? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong spot. Oh, I'm in the wrong spot. Oops. Sorry. Sorry about this detour. We'll get back to the playtest in a second. Alchemy container. Yeah, this is wrong. Gain a corrupted ability. Tooltip corruption chance. Data. Oh, yeah, this is entirely wrong. Okay, let's just do description utils.float 2%. Here. I made some changes, so I went through the game and I removed, so the translation file looks like this. I went through and I removed all of the hard-coded percent instances in the translation strings, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to rely on the C# string formatting locale settings to put the percents correctly. So instead of the translators having to put the percents in the right spot and everything and change the numbers and everything, this 0 is just a percent chance that will be formatted by C# as a percent based on the current locale. So that means that, you know, depending on what language you've configured, it will print differently, or it will be formatted differently. So yeah, but I guess I missed a couple of places where that would be broken. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the C# locale be in lockstep with the Godot locale, so that when you change your language from the settings menu, it will change the C# locale as well. So those two things are going to be basically locked together. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay, we're back to normal. Actually, I didn't rebuild the translation, sorry. Okay. Just want to make extra sure. Okay, continuing the run now. This is on the difficulty tweaks branch. That's okay, it doesn't matter. Okay. Do I dare throw another thing in the pot? 25%? Maybe not. Let's just do those. That's a good one. Cool, so now we should be getting some armor. 7-stream streak, awesome. Very cool. Seemed to be format because a lamp showed the right format. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a format issue. Let's do this one. This is going to give me some survivability. I really should go for a health upgrade, but I guess I'm not going to get one. VS Code looks different, new UI update. Yeah, they pushed a new UI update. I don't know if I like it. You can turn it off, but we'll see. Let's do the one additional enchantment. How long have you been developing Alcamortis for? Since March of 2025. Sweet. Ooh, a Wendigo. 2 armor per item to the right and left projects the relic tag to items below. I think I do want more armor, so let's just grab that for now. Go to the booster. I'm feeling a little bit low on items, so I'm going to just take the one that gives me more items. 14 armor damage. No abilities of bottom adjacent items. That's a good one. Heal 4 per minion item. Confuse 4 random enemy items. Oh gosh, am I not going to be able to do this? I literally can't fit it. Oh wait, yes I can. There we go. Okay. See how it goes. My build is probably not strong enough. Oh. Let's see. I might do this. Well, no, I want to keep the lantern. This one. I want to put this like here, I think, but I don't know if that's going to be a good. I don't know if that's going to be a good idea. I might lose the fire, which would be bad. Maybe I'll use my witch dust to keep that fire just in case. I don't know. Let's just go for it. Ooh, okay. That seems good to me. Well, maybe not. Ooh, that's got confused as well. And I don't have a 1x1 item. Well, this may not be good, actually. I don't have any more minion items on the board. This is apply. Okay, maybe I'll hold on to this. Oh gosh, I don't have room. Let's put that one away. Put that guy on there. This one also applies fire. So maybe we'll just go with fire for now. And we'll hold on to this guy. This one does apply a lot of fire, but it's got a long cooldown. I probably want to take the heal now too. Okay, let's see what happens. Enchant. Converts fire applied to heal. Echo. Okay, hopefully that helps. Ship it. The Tetris minigame. I watched several YouTubers play Alchemortis and some never realized that boosters give different amount of cards. Yeah, that's a problem. I don't know what to do about that. No, I'm not going to add rotating. The reason why rotating is not going to be added is because you're supposed to feel constraints around the alchemy system and the inventory system okay. This actually went much better than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, the whole thing is like you should be using alchemy, and if you feel like you can just use items by rotating them and everything, I feel like that would reduce the incentive to use alchemy. So there have to be certain restrictions around what you can do with your inventory, and having like a fixed item size and fixed orientation I think causes players to have to use the alchemy system more to get the layouts that they want. Another critical bonus increase. This item executes 1 additional time. If this column contains at least 4 alchemical items, add the following ability to items in this column. All items in this row are affected by artifacts an additional time. I mean, that's a strong one, so we'll just put these down here. Yes, okay, that works. What are we doing now? Do I want to keep this one on, or... No, but this is not in the... It's not a minion anymore, or it's not in the row anymore. Put this guy here. Put this here. So we've got like a confused fire build going on here. Put that there. That's just damage. That's not exactly what I want. Innate apply armor. 20 armor, 25 more damage. I have a spot here. I might as well just throw that guy on there. Might as well. Do I want to go for the resurrection stone? Or the shop? I gotta go for the shop. Do you have a sound engineer, or do you make the sound effects and music yourself? I do not have a sound engineer. I have sound effects libraries where I pull my sounds from, and then I just adjust them myself. Sometimes I go into Audacity and I like put multiple sounds layered together to create a single audio file. But this is the new shop music, by the way. I feel like that kind of defeats the purpose of the shape pieces here. It's part of the inventory management. You force the players to sell items. Yeah, it's not... I mean, you're not forced to sell it. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if, let's say you've got the lantern and there's abilities on the lantern that you want, but it doesn't fit on your board, the solution to that is to take the lantern and to throw it in alchemy with something else. So you get the lantern's abilities on a different item. Now, innate abilities make that a little bit more complicated, but... How can you instant sell items? Control Shift left click. The sounds fit so well in the game, I would have thought they were custom. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I am crunching them a little bit, so the music is... I get a high quality wave file from my friend who is doing the music for the game, and then what I do is I basically process it down to a 64 kilobit per second MP3, and then I process that into an OGG. So I'm basically capturing the MP3 reduced bit rate, but into an OGG file for the compression and for the better support, I guess. But then all the rest of the sound effects in the game, those are, the sample rate is reduced from 44,100 to 22,050, so the sample rate is halved, and that also creates kind of like a chunky retro vibe to the sound effects. So I'm basically just doing a bunch of things to take these high quality, high fidelity sound effects and kind of crunch them down a little bit. If an item has an adjacent, so we could do another enchanting amulet. Applies 3 fire per item that applies fire. That is going to be good, actually. Grab that. I do need the health upgrade. I'm going to purchase this, and I'm just going to go for the max one there. So I'm at 85 health now. Item upgrade. Should I just spend all my money? I'm gonna buy reagents too. Critical bonus sum of items to the left is 10 or greater, adds 6 critical bonus. That's a good one. No bleed abilities. I don't care about that. Replaces the abilities of right adjacent items with abilities from left adjacent items. That could be good. All right, I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't want that anymore. I don't want this either. No fire abilities, that's a good one. Adds a falling ability to items on the top edge, that's a good one. 15% critical chance, wow. Okay. I wish I still had the witch dust though. I kind of want to add crit chance to this one. To items on the right edge. Let's do this. No fire abilities of adjacent items will be replaced. Adds fire to the top edge. If the critical bonus sum of items to the left is 10 or greater. Wait a minute, okay. So we put these down here. Add 6 critical bonus to bottom. Oh, I can't do that, can I? I was gonna put this one. Add 6 critical bonus. Okay, so I can't do that. 20% corruption chance. Do I throw this in now? 10% corruption chance. So we're protecting all the fire abilities. We're adding fire to the lantern. Adding 15% critical chance to both of these. I think that'll work. Let's try it. What do we get? Ooh. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Okay. Oh my gosh. The scythe is not bad too, dang. All right, so we've got more fire abilities to play with. Sweet. Let's see how it goes. How have you split the game logic from a UI logic in this project? I mean, I think the critical thing to keep in mind is that the UI always needs to be in response to game logic and not driving the game logic. I think you could get into a really bad situation if your UI is containing some kind of game state that's critical. So like, for example, when I move items from board to board, the visual positions in the UI are just changing, but the positions that are stored in like the data about each board inventory, those are just pure data, right? So what happens is the pure data class that controls where the things are on the board and what size the grid is, that's just a class. It doesn't even need to be used with a UI. I could just instantiate that class and like have an invisible inventory if I wanted to. But then I can associate that inventory object with a board, and then the board, what it does is it connects to all these signals in the inventory object, and then it updates its visual state in accordance with those changes. So whenever the position of an item changes in the pure data representation, the UI says, okay, I need to take the node associated with that item and snap it to this position in the tree, right? Or in the world or whatever. Long stream today. Yeah, we're going to see how much I can go through at this little slow play test. I do need to eat lunch at some point, but I think it's a good idea to learn game dev using AI because I find tutorials and courses to be boring, and I want to focus on making horror games, and it's hard finding tutorials that are actually good explaining stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I think treating AI as like a tutor that you have always available to you that can explain things to you, I think that's a very good use of AI. I think the temptation will be, like, if you get stuck on something, you're just going to let the AI do it rather than trying to work through the steps of understanding it yourself, right? So like a good person tutor would like give you pointers and explain concepts to you, but they wouldn't like write the code for you, right? But the problem with AI is that it's a good tutor, it's a decent tutor, but then it also like will offer like, hey, do you want me to do it for you or whatever? And that can be a temptation that's easy to give into, but the problem is you'll be undercutting yourself if you do that, because if you're not putting the effort to actually understand how things are working, then yeah, you're not going to learn the things that you desire to learn, right? I want to go for the enchant, I think, and get some more reagents. Just an idea, instead you have the cell part in the bottom, replace visual identification of your hearts and blood, because I almost never use it. The hearts and blood are there already. The cell board, so the goal with this game is that it should be playable entirely with just the mouse. So the hotkeys are just quality of life things for players who want like quicker access to things, but I want you to be able to play this game just using the mouse. And so if you have no cell board that you can drag items to, then you can't, that's not accomplishable, right? Zip Banger new song. Yes, it is a new song. I would say those are great tutorials that get the basics down that you can then apply to horror games. Ooh. If Confuse is applied to enemy 20 times, if Confuse is applied 20 times to enemy items during a single combat, gain a random enemy item. Oh man. Apply 4 bleed per enemy self-damage dealt. Heal 12 if there are at least 3 adjacent minion items. I might keep that. Deal 5 damage per adjacent weapon, projects to adjacent weapon items. Apply 3 bleed. I don't care about the abomination necessarily. Oh wait, do I want the honey? Let's take the honey. Sometimes I get the AI to do my code for me, then I go, okay, so how does this code work exactly? In order to let me know what everything does. I can just lean on my chair and play the game with the mouse. Yeah, exactly. I always thought it was nice when like these kinds of like casual strategy games were just like had very simple controls where you could just play with the mouse. But of course, you know, you want to have the quality of life stuff so that people don't have to drag to the cell board every time, right? Oh, there we go. Shoot, now I gotta get rid of some stuff. Actually, you know what I might do? Wait, did I not get my fungus spore? Oh wait, this item hasn't been in combat yet. Actually, I have a nasty idea. Replaces the abilities of right adjacent items with abilities from left adjacent items. Oh no! I need a death orchid. Oh no. This would actually, like, I basically just want to take all these abilities and put them on the succubus. And then put the succubus here. That would be so nasty. But I can't do that. Ah. Oh man. Okay. Shoot. Where am I going to get a death orchid from? Dang it, I don't want to get rid of any of these. Okay. Okay, alright. Let's see. Oh, fudge. Actually, you know what I might do? This skeleton mage is damaged, so this skeleton mage is actually not doing anything for me. So what I think I'm going to do is just try to get some of these fire abilities onto here. Okay. Let's just see. Nope, that did not give me what I wanted. But I can just run that back. It's closer. I don't have any more blood. Okay. Fudge. Has an equal chance to have or double the cooldown of one random item. Oh, that's tempting. I don't care about this. I mean, I want these roses, but I don't really want to get rid of anything either. Okay, let's sell that. Let's go back in. Let's try this again. Thank you. Okay. 4 fire, increase the critical chance of items that apply fire by 10%. Okay. All right. So that's good. This one we may want to keep around so we can duplicate that ability a little bit, but... And then I have room to store these roses for now. And I don't... Well, maybe I'll keep that one. I might as well. Yeah, I might as well. Whatever. It's okay. I can clean that up later. Alright, let's see. Critical bonus by 7. Okay. Put a succubus baddie in and I used it always. Awesome. I love the corrupted roses. Alright, let's see how this goes. Building up that fire. Oh goodness, look at that. Yep. It's working. Deal 4 damage per 1x1 item. Oh goodness. Deal 3 per board tile above. I guess I should take the witch dust. So the witch dust is basically let's just use some items here. 50% critical chance to items on the right edge of the board. If the critical bonus of if the critical bonus of left is 10 or greater, okay. To bottom adjacent items. Left and right adjacent items. Okay, that's not gonna work. Why does this have a 0 crit bonus? Did I miss that? Okay, let's just do this. Okay, 30% critical bonus, that's good. I don't care about this guy. I'm gonna take the witch dust though. Fire feels OP, is it just me? Mostly because I mostly lost runs due to fire and have no heal in those runs. I don't know. What do you guys think about fire? I think fire is in a decent spot. So I think it used to be the case that fire was powerful, but that also meant enemy fire was powerful. So I basically made fire so that it favors higher stacks, which the enemy has a hard time reaching. And so yeah, if you do encounter an enemy with fire though, and you don't have any defenses, so armor and heal counter fire, right? And if you have no armor or heal, then you're gonna have to have a build that out DPSs the enemy, right? But if you don't have any of those things, if you have no armor, if you're not out DPSing the enemy, and you have no heal, then yeah, you're probably gonna lose if like a moderate amount of fire is applied to you. And I don't necessarily think that's a problem. I think it is very good right now. Like in a good spot or like too strong. When I write code and then ask AI to write the same code, I always find mine to be much better. I don't get why anyone would want to learn from AI unless it's certain API or a kitty you want to familiarize. Well, AI is good at explaining what code is doing. I don't know if I would use it to like it as an exemplar of like writing really good code. But if you want it to explain concepts to you, it's good at that. Even with R that stacked me went so quick when the fire stacked at 120 or something. Gotcha. I mean, I could take a look at fire. I think fire is just a matter of like tweaking some of these things. I don't have any more water. So like I could just turn these stack numbers up, right? Like 40, 60. Hello, Budget Jim, welcome. Let's do Echo. Snail Cat. I'm just gonna sell these things, I don't need them. I'm not gonna go for the Resurrection Stone, let's just do the artifact. Confusion lasts on additional execution. Yes, please. Excellent. take some damage now, but that's all right. Very nice. Hey, there's the ghoulish fencer. I really don't want any of these things though, so... Projects to items that are both left and right adjacent. Let's just get rid of that. Ooh, oh man, why is this so hard? I kind of want to go to the shop again, but also there's artifacts. Alright, let's just go this way. Apply one fire swarm. Yes. Okay. So let's see. Oh, do I want to move that? Oh, do I have to reconfigure this? Hold on a second. All items in this row are affected by artifacts. No, I got to keep all my minions down there because they're being affected by the tactics manual. I need a death orchid. Maybe I should go to the shop and see if I can get a reagent event. Swarm. Well, that's actually not going to do that much. I need to grow the board this way again. Oh, there's a reagent there. So I guess I'll do artifact reagent. Feels OP for me. It's just vibe. How my runs went from the older playtest. Poison felt less strong than fire if combined with heal. iOS doesn't allow just-in-time compilation. How's Godot mono supporting it? Does the engine not use and allow reflection like at all? I don't know. I actually don't know the answer to that question. You don't have to change anything if other people say it's fine. Yeah, that's why I'm trying, that's why I was asking how other people feel about it. I think fire feels pretty good. It might be the case that poison is too weak. I might take a look at poison. I think fire, the way fire works now, I'm very happy with it. And so if I make any changes to fire, I think it would just be numerical tweaks. But I think otherwise it feels pretty good to me. This feels like a scary board. I actually don't... Oh man, I could put this here. That's not going to get the minion bonus, but that's okay, because I can do... Increase critical bonus. Let's see. Alright, I guess I was worried about nothing. Ooh, piranha build, let's go. I love the piranha. Hello, footlong icicle. Poison was only strong if it was combined with heal. Gotcha. Okay, artifact. Come on, give me a death orchid. Come on, I want a death orchid out of the reagent one. Ooh, swarm abilities will trigger an additional swarm ability. 1x1 items gain an additional ability slot but have their cooldowns increased. Whenever a status applied to an enemy, a 30% chance it will be transformed into a different status with 3 additional stacks. I mean, I might as well just take the locust. Although... Yeah, I guess I might as well just take the locust. I might as well take that. Okay. Come on, Death Orchid. Come on, come on, come on, come on. We got it. We got it. Okay, all right. So here's what I want to do. I basically want to take all of these abilities off of the fungus and put them onto the succubus. Because this succubus has like direct confusion buffs. Yeah. And then there's a bunch of fire too. Okay. All right, so what am I gonna do? Because I need to make room so I have room for this. Can I just... Yeah, there we go, that works. So Death Orchid to increase the board size. Okay, and then now replaces the abilities of right adjacent items with all abilities from the left adjacent items. So we want to do this and this. One ability will be replaced. That's okay. I think that's okay. Oh, but there's a chance to gain a corrupted ability, so we put this here. All right, let's do it. Oh, look at that beauty. Bam. I guess we'll just hold on to this one for a second. Now I could make use of the swarm here since I have this and then also the locust, but maybe not. Always want the newt tail. I don't care about poison. Might as well take the witch dust, and I don't care about armor. And there's a shop up here too. Let's go. I think poison requires a bit of RNG. Did I already read this one? As sometimes you completely wreck it, other times you slowly drown. They use NaOT at compilations to use, so yeah, a lot of unrooted reflection, just not supported. Interesting. Contains a guaranteed project item. Might as well just take this one, I suppose. Ooh. I don't have a legendary item, though. Projects to items on the right edge. Echo. Gosh. Should I just sell this Fungus Giganticus? It's taking up a lot of space. Goodbye. Oh. That's fine. Do I dare try to absorb the echo from this? Dang it, I didn't get the right one. Try it again. Why not? Really? I got the same ability again. Well, there goes my 2 freaking spores. Okay. Shop or enchant? Well, we gotta do the combat first. Oop, I'm starting to take some damage. Reduce the remaining cooldown of 3 random adjacent items with a fire ability by 0.5 seconds per 1 second of this item's cooldown. Interesting. I'm kind of like I mean, there's, you know what, actually? Oh, you know what? Here, here, here. We try to get rid of that damage on there. Do I throw the rose in just for good measure? Adjacent items. Okay, so I need to rework this a little bit. Oh, it's left and right adjacent, right? So, right? So I should, oh wait, this is an innate ability. Oh, I almost made a mistake. That's innate, okay. Never mind. What do I do then? I guess nothing. We'll just go march forward to the boss and see what happens. Ritual tag. Abilities projected by this item are also projected to this item. That would be good on this one. Oh, that would be really good on this one, actually. Well, maybe not really good, but... Increase sell price by 10. I don't care about that. Adds a ritual tag. I don't care about that either. So we might as well just throw this onto that. All right, let's see what happens. So we're getting to the point in the game where my difficulty changes would take effect now. Dang. This is a pretty good build going on. Oh, another confuse item. Deal 9 true damage for each time this item applied confuse. Repeat for each time blind was applied. Do I want that? I kind of want to figure out if I can put the oil barrels in here somewhere. I think I would have to get rid of... I would have to get rid of something. All right, goodbye, Piranha. I'm sorry. I love the Piranha, but I can't make use of it. Let's see what happens. Oh, in my first run with a poison heal build, conversion was so high that the HP only went down like once. In the last playtest, not sure I did, but when I alchemized a sword, it stacked infinite armor once. Very cool. Hello, Ariane. Pleasurable to sound effects and visual effects. Thank you. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, no. Ooh, okay. Okay. I did get him down more than 50%, so probably okay to just go again. Dang it. 2 health. Wait, how did I get him down? I did over 50% of his health and damage the first time, and then I couldn't even do 186 damage, or whatever it was. Oh, that sucks. Well, let me see. Let's look at the combat summary. The enemy dealt 181 physical damage. I applied a bunch of armor. Oh, I guess the hammer was shredding my armor. But it says it only did 24 armor damage, so maybe I just never built up that amount. The enemy healed 41. I guess I was only applying 29 armor. So let's see. So I healed for 74, but I only applied 29 armor. So the field mouse. Why is the field mouse doing so much damage? Oh, oh, it's got swarm. Okay. The field mouse does a lot of damage, I guess. Maybe I should nerf the field mouse. But anyway, I think, so one problem there is that I guess I could have had more armor being applied. That probably would have saved me. I was doing a good amount of healing, but my succubus, I guess my succubus could have had a lower cooldown. I think the main thing is if I had invested in more health upgrades and also applied a little bit more armor. So I probably should have been looking to upgrade this item, really, because this would have been like my bread and butter defense. But I do think that maybe the field mouse is a little bit too strong. So I may change the field mouse scaling a little bit. Because that feels a little bit strong, especially when there's a lot of them. So these kinds of like balance things, I'm just gonna have to, I'm just gonna have to play a bunch and figure out what's going on. Yeah, can't wait to try out these difficulty changes. My first run did a bleed lifesteal build, which flew through the entire thing without too much issue. Yeah, so what I did is I increased the difficulty of like the mid game by like 15% and the late game by like 25%. So I'm hoping that that's enough, but like I said, I'm gonna have to play around with it and see. HP, the enemy has 2, yeah. Hopefully it changes allow me to engage with the alchemy mechanics some more. Fun game still, thank you. Yeah, I don't, so there's a bunch of different concerns, right? I don't want to make it too difficult for new players. So that's why like the early game is relatively easy. Like if you put together a semi-coherent build, you should be able to get through the early game, no problem. But if a player is going to lose, like the second boss is where I want it to be. And I want the loss to be like this, right? Like I want the loss to be like, oh, you were so close. Because this, if you lose by the second boss, then you have had plenty of time to engage with the systems to create your own build. You probably have something that's pretty coherent or optimized. Well, maybe not super optimized. And if you lose at this point, you're going to be like, okay, all right, let's go again, right? But what I don't want to happen is like you just lose at like halfway through the first region. At least on like the base difficulty, right? I didn't get any challenges done either. This game is rigged. This game is rigged. Might have some feedback for you do I just post on Discord? Yes, please. Please do so. Are there Steam achievements? There will be, yes. There will be Steam achievements. All right, well, that was a playtest of Alka Mortis. I think the difficulty changes are feeling good. Like, I didn't really notice it being a whole lot harder, but it definitely was a little bit more difficult. So, gonna have to play around with that some more, obviously, but I think it feels good. I think it feels good, generally speaking. That run, so apart from like individual items being a little bit too powerful, like I think the field mouse is probably a little bit too powerful. That run felt good though. Like I felt good engaging with the alchemy. I felt good hunting for like the death orchid and hitting that. Being able to just outright transfer all of those abilities from the giant mushroom to the succubus felt really good. Having that fire confused build going was pretty cool. I think the game's feeling very good overall. I just gotta like rein in some of these outlier items and also just get the general difficulty feeling good. Thank you, I appreciate that. So yeah. Anyway, Alka Mortis is available for playtesting. So if you're new to the stream and you liked what you see, you can actually play the game right now. If you go to the Steam page, click request access here, you'll get right into the playtest. And yeah, leave me your feedback, join the Discord, post your feedback there. I'm listening to and considering all feedback. It's very valuable to me. But this is the last playtest before the demo is publicly available from the Steam page, and then the game will be releasing before the end of the year. So yeah, we're getting very close now. Only a handful of months left, really. And I still have to do a bunch of content. So yeah, will be fun. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you all. And thank you for your support. And I will be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. That run low looked really fun. It was fun. It was. Okay. Bye-bye for now.